Michigan Stadium. This is Ricky Lindsay from the Michigan Journal, joined alongside Veronica Rates. Michigan just lost to Minnesota 30-14. Pretty tough game for the Wolverines tonight, outplayed on both sides of the ball, even special teams. Just an ugly game. Minnesota outgained Michigan by 200 yards. So you can pretty much tell by the stats how it went. But Veronica, what did you think about it? It was your first game in the press box, first game at Michigan Stadium, first college football game too. What were your thoughts on today's?
It was a crazy ride. I was pretty surprised by the Shane Morris start, but not too shocked by it. I thought that after the first 2 quarters that they would bring out Devin Gardner, but they didn't. So I was pretty surprised, but I think when he came out, it was a little bit uplifting, but not enough and not enough time to get the game back rolling.
I agree with you on there. I thought all week that Shane Morris would be the starting quarterback when Michigan trotted out here. Just the way it was set up all week, it looked like he was going to be the guy. And I think that they needed to make the change, but you realized pretty quickly that, once things started heading south and Morris was limping, it did appear that he was, with an injury. We talked about in the press conference too, that he was carted off the field. So, it was pretty obvious that Devin Gardner had to go back in there. And when he did go back in there, he excelled on Michigan's scoring drive, second one of the game, last one of the game too. So he really kind of held Michigan back in there, if you say. What were your thoughts on, the quarterback play today?
I thought that they did not have a good execution on the ball. Not a lot of ball security. Shane Morris seemed to have the jitters. He was nervous. It didn't seem like he was connecting to Funchess like Devin was. I noticed that when he came out, it was a lot different chemistry. It still wasn't there though to bring it back.
Yeah, I agree with that too. Shane, he came out there, kind of missed some of the throws, overthrew his receivers a couple times. Really connected with Jake Butt pretty well, from what I thought. But everybody else, it kind of looked like he was struggling. But Davion Smith, he took the first scoring drive that Michigan scored against a Power 5 team this year. Took him all the way down, I think 53 yards for the first scoring drive. He looked really well. He got the ball that entire drive. He was one of the bright spots, one of the few bright spots today that I would name off. But, looking, ahead to, obviously Rutgers next week and then Penn State 2 weeks from now. What do you think Michigan has to do in order to rebound? This is the first time Michigan's entered October with 3 losses ever.
Mostly I just think they got to get their offense under control. I think Devin Funchess, he's got to start catching stuff, but I think Shane Morris, if he comes back out, he needs to get more ball control and he needs to get the ball where it needs to be. He overthrew a lot of passes today. So I think execution is really where this team needs to get another W in the win column.
And Brady Hoke, he's talked about, the Big Ten season. We still have everything that we can win. Everything's still in play, but, Michigan's right now 1 loss in the Big Ten standings. It's important to get that first win like they did last year against Minnesota. And plus, the Jugs going back to Minnesota, that's not exactly what Michigan would want, when they dominated a rivalry. The season's here right now. This is what they've wanted to do. This is what they've wanted to play for. So I think something has to happen pretty fast. And, no more excuses. This team was pathetic today. Sometimes, when I was watching the game, it didn't look like a Power 5 team. If this is what the Big Ten's become, like everybody else has said, then we're in for a treat the rest of the ride because Ohio State lurks at the end of the schedule. Michigan State's in about 3 or 4 weeks. So Michigan's going to get a pretty big test, even whether it's Gardner or Morris under center. So do you have any final thoughts from the day, Veronica?
I just think they need to pick it up. I don't think that this is Michigan. This was an embarrassment. I'm hoping that they can pick it up, but if they keep playing like they were tonight, then it's not going to be pretty at the end of the season when they have to play Ohio State. So I'm interested to see if they pick it up this season, but who knows if they will.
Okay. Yeah, Michigan hits the road next Saturday to play Rutgers. First time, Michigan's going to welcome Rutgers into the Big Ten, but it appears that Rutgers might be welcoming Michigan into the Big Ten, 12 hours away. Any predictions for that game? I'd have to say, depending on who starts this week, if Devin Gardner starts, I think, Michigan could probably get back in there, maybe pull out a close win, probably a 7-point win. But if Shane Morris starts, I think you still kind of run into the same problems where, is he ready? You know, they say that he's ready. It looks like he's ready. It looks like everything, you know, that he wants to do is there. But the on-field product obviously isn't. So do you have any predictions for the Rutgers game?
I don't know. I was predicting for this one. I thought Michigan was going to pull it out, but I think after this performance, Shane or Gardner, I think they might end up losing that one. So we'll see, I guess.
Okay. This is Ricky Lindsay, joined alongside Veronica Rates. We will not be at Rutgers next week. You can follow our continued coverage 2 weeks from now when Michigan welcomes Penn State to the Big House for its third Big House night game in the past 3 years. That will be a fun one. Penn State, you know, got Michigan last year on the road. Michigan's going to unveil some brand new jerseys from Adidas, so that should be a good game. But catch our coverage then, and as always, you can find us on michiganjournal.org for continued coverage throughout the week. So I'm Ricky Lindsay.
I'm Veronica Rates.
Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen.